Hi, and welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Audrey Collins. I am a midlife wife and mom of 4 beautiful children, and I am navigating MCAS and perimenopause. I also run an online beauty boutique called Beyond Pearls. So if you have any body, beauty, or wellness needs, I'm your girl. I've recently started the carnivore diet, and I am starting a 90-day challenge. If you want to follow along, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Today is part of a series that I'm doing called Carnivore, the why, what, how, where, and who. In today's video, I'm going to share the reasons why I chose to start the carnivore diet and the benefits I'm already experiencing. I'm going to try to keep these videos in between 15 and 30 minutes. So if you're in a time crunch like I usually am, feel free to hit the settings button at the top right corner of your screen and speed up the playback. I normally watch all of my videos in either 1.25 or 1.5 speed. Next, I do have to do a disclaimer because I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm only sharing my personal experience and opinions for entertainment purposes only. Okay, let's get into it. So why carnivore? If you know me or have followed me on social media, you know that about 2 years ago, I started having major health issues that totally disrupted my life, namely fainting or having near fainting episodes, of which I had over 24 in the course of a 1.5 year time span. This led to me being home a lot, not being able to drive, and being totally isolated. I was later diagnosed by my holistic practitioner with MCAS, which is mast cell activation syndrome. It's similar to an autoimmune disease, but can have a range of different symptoms across multiple systems in the body. So that makes it look different for every person and extremely difficult to diagnose. It all relates to histamine levels in the body, which can be determined by so many different things: food, hormones, things in your environment, the list goes on. Also, this past year at least, I've started having perimenopause symptoms. Those overlapped and made worse the MCAS symptoms that I was already having. I won't go into the details about all of those, but I will cover some of them in the benefits that I've experienced already. But if you have any questions about those or want me to cover that in depth in a future video, let me know in the comments. All of that to say, the main reasons why I've started carnivore is to hopefully resolve or lessen my symptoms from both MCAS and the hormonal changes. And all the binging I've done on YouTube about carnivore has led me to believe that it is the answer that I've been looking for. Side note, I am worlds better than I was 1 year ago, but the major symptoms I'm still looking to improve are brain fog, fatigue, and weight gain. I've gained about 20 pounds over the last 2 years, and that has not budged despite doing things that used to work for me, including calorie restriction, daily exercise, including walking and strength training, and keto or low carb diet. On that note, a brief history of my food and diet situation. I have been on keto and or low carb for most of 5 years now. When I initially went on keto, I was able to lose and maintain 45-pound weight loss from my prior back-to-back pregnancies. Keto used to give me energy, mental clarity, but since starting it back up last August, 9 months ago, my weight has not changed, nor has my fatigue level, other than like some ebbs and flows. Being tired all the time has led me to eating more processed junk and food, still keto, but processed food nonetheless. My health practitioner had actually recommended carnivore back when I was in the throes of my MCAS flares, but mentally I was not ready to make that change, and I didn't see how it could possibly be healthy. Which, now that I've done a ton of research, I am truly convinced that the opposite is actually true. So now that you know why I chose to start carnivore, here are the benefits I'm already experiencing. First, let me just say, I have not been doing strict carnivore yet. I started Monday, and what I'm doing is really considered ketovore, which, just for your reference, keto is typically 20 to 50 grams of carbs per day. Ketovore is more in the 10-ish range of grams per day. And then carnivore is just as close to zero as possible. So it's turning the carb dial down even more than I have. I've been eating mostly meat with a little bit of dairy, except my sugar-free sweetener for my coffee, which has some plant derivatives, and my keto ice cream that I eat every single night. Yes, almost every single night I have ice cream. The keto ice creams have a bunch of different flavors and ingredients, so the ones I have are not technically carnivore. Coffee and ice cream are two things in life I will not give up. Not cannot, will not. It's a choice. So I'm planning to switch from stevia to monk fruit, which I believe is the only carnivore approved sweetener. And I'm going to try to find, my next mission is to try to find a carnivore like vanilla ice cream recipe that I can make from home before I start strict carnivore on Monday. Okay, benefits I'm already experiencing so far. Energy. Monday, I woke up feeling so terrible after having cheat meals over the weekend, which my cheats were fruits and vegetables that I don't normally eat. So when I woke up feeling so bad, that is what led me to research carnivore. And I actually came across a precious lady who has put her MCAS in complete remission and lost 120 pounds on carnivore. So I'm gonna link that video in the description so you guys can see sent me down this rabbit trail. So I started that same day after watching her video, and then there was one other video, Dr. Chaffee talked about how plants are trying to unalive you, which is a very provocative title for his video, but the whole thing made so much sense. So I'm gonna link those two videos in the description box so you guys can see their initial research that I've done, but I've actually watched like hours, countless hours this week on carnivore. So the next morning I felt slightly better, but I still had a headache that I had woke up with on Monday. I still felt like my body weighed 1,000 pounds, which is very typical for me. I feel like that often, which is why I sit in my recliner a lot and don't do very much, which has been the case the past 2 years. Wednesday, I woke up and felt good. And then yesterday I woke up and felt really good. And then today I woke up feeling friggin' fantastic. Like I could go for a run or something, and I don't run. Okay, next is mood. Because I'm feeling better, my mood is better. I've been lovey-dovey with my kids and my husband, laughing and joking with them, which may seem small or ho-hum to you, but the past 2 years, I've had so little mental, emotional, and physical energy to give to my family. Many days have been a struggle, which has zapped my joy, my passion, and my purpose. I have felt like I was just a shell of who I used to be. So you can imagine how low my mood has been on the regular. Okay, next is brain fog. For the last 2 years, my brain function has been seriously impacted. My memory and recall has been so poor. I have struggled to concentrate and stay focused on my work or anything at all like I used to. I forget things constantly, which has frustrated my family and made me forget people's orders or make mistakes with ordering and shipping, etc. I know it's probably too soon to tell on this, but I will say the last 2 days I've been able to hold longer, deeper conversations, and today especially I feel like my brain is going on all cylinders. Weight loss. Okay, I know it's too soon to tell on this too, but I stepped on the scale this morning and I've lost 1 pound. I know this doesn't seem like a lot, but my scale has not budged below 155 for 2 whole years. It's gone up several times, and the highest my weight got was 163. So it did come back down when I started keto back in August, which a lot of that I think was water weight, but it's never gone below that weight until today. digestion. A huge part of my MCAS symptoms in the beginning, besides fainting, was digestive. I was having nausea, bloating, gas, constipation, and inflammation in my gut. It was so horrible. Most of the symptoms have subsided except for the constipation and bloating, although those are not as severe. This week I have had diarrhea, so no cramping or anything like that, and it wasn't traumatic. But a lot of the videos that I watched on Carnivore did say to expect that your first week because your gut is adjusting to the new diet and you're losing a lot of water weight. So that explains that. Just in the last day or two, I've started having more normal movements. So all good there. Very little struggling and almost no gas. Okay, next is sleep. I've never really had trouble sleeping my whole life until I was in that 1.5 year period where I was really struggling with the MCAS flares. Those sleep issues, which was like waking up a lot in the night and tossing and turning, most of that has resolved, but I do still wake up most days feeling fatigued, tired, sluggish. I hit the snooze button multiple times every morning and I just like have trouble like getting going. Like as soon as I wake up, I just want to sit on the recliner and I don't really have any motivation to do anything until after I drink my coffee. So just not feeling good when I wake up. The first 2 days I still was not feeling good, first 2 or 3 days of the diet, but the last 2 days I have woken up feeling so good. I have not hit snooze, which is totally not normal. And I wake up feeling refreshed and like ready to go. P.S. A lot of carnivore experts have said that people are able to go off of or reduce a lot of the meds or supplements that they had been on, like no matter what health issues they had had before, not just with MCAS like me. I am still taking most of mine the same for the time being. However, the main med that I take for MCAS is Allegra, and I usually take half of one every single morning. And sometimes I'll take another half if I don't feel great later on in the day. But I have not taken Allegra since Monday morning. So I took it Monday morning and then I did not take it at all the next 3 days. And then I took it this morning, but really not because I felt like I needed it or because I felt bad, but just because I don't want to quit cold turkey. I don't want to have like any withdrawal symptoms or anything like that. So I'm just going to kind of taper it off. But being able to go 4 days in between that is really huge for me. Okay, so that's it, guys. Now that you know my personal reasons why carnivore and the benefits I'm already seeing, I hope it encourages you to do some research on the topic and see if maybe you think it might help you with whatever you're dealing with. Let me know in the comments if you want to join me on my 90-day carnivore challenge starting Monday. I can't wait. Or if you're just curious and want to follow along, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Next up in the series, Carnivore Part 2, the what, where I discuss what even is carnivore and what I've been eating so far. Thank you so much for watching. Until he comes, bye.